Hi, everybody. It's Wednesday evening. You know what that means. It's time for another edition of Region Weather Live. I know you're probably sick of seeing my face after the storms the last couple of days. We're not going to talk about storms in the forecast. Kind of nice. Actually, we are. We do have storms in the forecast, but we're not going to spend a lot of time on those. We're going to spend more time on the long range pattern and what happens as we get into our weekend, another summery weekend ahead. And it's going to be a nice one. I really think you're going to like the forecast this weekend if you haven't seen it already. We'll talk about that and more in this Wednesday evening edition of Region Weather Live. And thanks for joining us, everybody. I hope you're doing well here on this Wednesday. I appreciate more than anything you guys taking time out of your Wednesday schedule in the middle of the summer to talk weather. So I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. We got a couple things to cover. We'll get you on your way because I know it's a beautiful evening outside. There's chaos behind me. I just did a joke with Marissa, who just ran by. I put this like chocolate bar in my teeth, and I was like, "Do I have anything in my teeth?" And then I almost forgot to get it out before we did this. So I think I got it all out. But anyway, I digress. As always, we want to thank our sponsors. It's not often that you love your plumber. It's not often that you need a plumber. But if you do, we have a lot of people that have used them and they love them, love them, rave. I've got messages just about the plumbing. It's great. It's tigerplumbing.net. They're out of the Highland area. They're just a fantastic family-owned business. And what gets me as a homeowner is the fact that they come out for free to analyze the problem. So please pay homage to them because they're just fantastic and you won't be disappointed at all. Also, Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram out of Valparaiso. It's always Jeep season, let's be honest, but it's especially Jeep season now, especially with the sunshine coming your way this weekend. They've got new Jeeps on the lot. Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram out of Valparaiso. All right, let's get to your map, shall we? We've got the ring of fire pattern still ongoing across the country. This is that pattern we've talked about where we have, the storms that bubble up and they kind of rotate along that ridge of heat that's centered on the plain states. Everything with the storms yesterday has gotten pushed down to the south. So we're in really good shape here. We have some storms downstate Illinois. There were some in southern Ohio that went into areas of Kentucky earlier. One that produced a tornado in southern Ohio as well. They've had all sorts of severe weather, although it doesn't quite look like the derecho last night. It still is pretty impressive what's going on down in the southeast with, at last count, about 10 or 11 severe thunderstorm warnings out of that. So that's where everything's gone. It's gotten pushed down to the south. We're in a much more stable air mass tonight, and we're going to stay there through much of the day tomorrow before we bring yet another round of storms in from the west. And it's going to emanate from what you see out here towards Colorado. They've had tornado warnings with that as well. This is just your true summertime storms mixing with boundaries. So it produces a little bit of spin, and that's why we had the tornado warnings out there. Not a huge outbreak or anything like that. But we'll watch this little area of energy traverse off towards the east, and that's what moves in here late Thursday into Friday. That's really our next good shot at rain. Hat tip to Scott Timmerman in our region weather community for showing me this. This is a great resource for how much rain has fallen. It's called rainpursuit.org. Never heard of it. I thought it was a virus at first when I clicked on it, but it's not, at least not that I know of. Anyway, I digress. But you can see this is the last 48 hours. It's a real good presentation of where the rain has fallen. I mean, you can get this stuff everywhere. But being a meteorologist, I love maps. And if you can give me a good map with good data on top of it, I'm sold. And I'm sold on this. So you can see where the rain has fallen with this pattern. Look at this. It's been completely dry in the center of the heat ridge, which has been right over Arkansas and Oklahoma. And then up and around it go the storms. And this is where kind of that track went with the derecho. It's where the tracks went with the storms the day before. But this is where we had some of the flooding areas in the blue up towards the Rockford area. You can see we got a decent little strip of 1 to 3 inches last couple of days across our region. Lesser amounts as you get down into Newton counties. But overall, this has been a blessing in terms of the rounds of rain that we've received. If you joined me, it was a week and a half ago, we talked about this pattern and how it could bring us some relief, right? It's never a guarantee with thunderstorms. And boy, has it delivered. It really has. We've had not too much and not too little. This would be too much. We had way too much out towards Fort Wayne. They had some flooding last night, but for us, it's just been downright perfect. It's not breaking us out of the drought, but it's getting us really close to that. So it's going to prevent us from heading further into a drought as we get throughout the summer. So great news on the rainfall front. And we've got another round on the way. So where do the storms go from here? Well, here's where the Storm Prediction Center has the storm threat tonight. Down in the Carolinas, we've got more out towards the west. Tomorrow, that boundary will start to shift north a little bit, but the severe weather threat never really gets here. We're going to remain on the stable side of things. So it looks like this next complex of storms doesn't really have a huge severe threat with it when it develops and moves in Thursday into Friday. We'll fine-tune that just here in a second. But it doesn't look like it has a huge severe threat with it. It looks like it's just another rain threat, which is great. It really is great, the way this pattern's shaping out. And then as we get into the weekend, here's your Friday. You notice how everything kind of shifts down to the south, and eventually we bubble in some high pressure. And I'm telling you, the weekend just looks great at this point. Okay, let's get into the details, shall we? So this is the latest Euro run, and it's got a pretty good latch on what's going on, all the storms down to our south. And here's what's latching onto. So tomorrow we start dry. We'll likely be dry through much of the day and stable. We look good. And what we're going to be watching is this another complex of storms that develops out towards Nebraska and Kansas. That complex of storms will roll east across Iowa and Missouri, and eventually into Illinois later on during the daytime tomorrow. How far north it gets is really in question right now. Some of the models keep it completely south of us. Other models bring it so it just brushes us. The Euro kind of likes it coming through here. So we're going to keep it in the forecast as rain. I do think we get hit by this tomorrow, late tomorrow into tomorrow night. But again, the severe threat's not really there with this, at least locally. I think that would be further south where that instability, the greatest instability, is going to be. So here we go. This is Thursday, late afternoon now. This is getting into Thursday evening. This is now Thursday around midnight. And you can see some kind of cluster of showers and thunderstorms is expected to roll in here. Again, the severe part would be down here. And again, if this is further south, that severe part would be even further south. But the severe part would be on the southern end of this, and we look like we just get some rain out of this. And it looks like a soaker, says the Euro, and that would last through Friday morning. It may last through Friday midday, and then eventually by Friday evening, we should start to clear things out as drier air works in from Canada. What you don't see on here, there's a big area of low pressure up towards Maine. And what that's doing is bringing air out of Canada all the way across the Great Lakes. So that's going to help to take our boundary that we've been stuck in for the last 4 days and push it south. So not too bad, right? Eventually, we'll start to clear things out. As I mentioned, late Friday. Saturday looks great. High pressure, large and in charge across the Great Lakes. Saturday night looks great for any of your outdoor plans. I know it's not just wedding season, but it's festival and fair season around here. So any weekend that we can get that's dry is great. And I'm telling you, it's going to impress. Not only is it going to be dry this weekend, but we're going to have wall-to-wall sunshine as it looks right now. Maybe a high cloud deck passing through from time to time off of storms well to the north, but it looks like a lot of sunshine, and it looks like lower humidity. I think that's going to be the big thing. We get a break from the humidity as we get a nice, stable, drier air mass in from Canada. How long does it last, though? Well, Sunday, we're still in the dry air. Sunday looks great. Monday doesn't look bad either. We'll likely have increasing clouds on Monday because there will be a frontal boundary coming in from the north. That will have storms to our north. I don't think we get wet on Monday, but we'll have increasing clouds as we go throughout the day off of those storms. And then it's Tuesday that we bring back rainfall chances. Maybe a late Monday. This is Monday night, the Euro's saying. So I could see that, maybe speeding up a little bit. But it looks like Monday night into Tuesday is when we bring our next round of storms in here. Those could be on the stronger side. But really, given the fact we're coming out of a stable air mass Sunday, there's not going to be a lot of time to reload on Monday. So I'm not really seeing a huge severe signature with that. But it's summertime, so we have to keep an eye on them either way. And then as we get in the middle half of next week, models kind of, diverge as you'd expect at that time. But that initial front will go south. And then it looks like we get some kind of other frontal boundary across the Great Lakes that may bring us some unsettled weather. Again, not a big severe threat as it looks later next week, but some showers and thunderstorms certainly possible as we get into the Thursday time frame. And you can see how that kind of lingers through Thursday night before we clear out, perhaps for the following weekend. As of right now, don't make plans on that. And temperatures really don't get out of control either. Things look pretty nice temperature-wise, pretty stable. We'll have a lot of 70s and 80s in the forecast. And again, with that humidity coming down this weekend, it's going to feel great. All right. So let's get to your questions. If you have questions, go ahead, throw them in the comments, whether you be joining us on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook page. Either way, I get them here, and we'll answer your questions and get you on your way here on this Wednesday evening. Mark calling out Johnny Cash for Ring of Fire. Appreciate that, Mark. You're right. And I saw some people excited. Jenny was excited about Scott getting a shout out. Absolutely. Scott's helping us out. Very appreciative of that website link. If anyone has great maps that you want to share, I'm all about maps. No, Mark, they won't. We're not expecting big storms here either. I'm not, I think our severe threat was same as Indiana and Iowa's over the last 24 hours, and we're out of it, so we're in good shape. Gail says, half of my text disappeared. So hi, Matt from Valparaiso. Have a great night. Thanks for your updates. Gail, thank you very much. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining us here on the summer evening for sure. Always appreciate you. So let's see. So then not a lot or any rain. There's not a lot in the forecast. It's not enough to be a drought. I think we'll get enough on Tuesday. There's a pretty good chance that we get that rain Monday night, Tuesday. And then our other chance, again, is going to be late Thursday into Friday. That'll be near average. That should hold us over for the week. So it's enough rain. And I can actually show you. Let's just pull that up here. We'll look at the latest Euro for the next week. We'll go this and this. And you can see, we've got pretty decent amounts being, shown by the models here. That's through next Friday. If we take it through this first cluster that comes in, and this will vary, but, that Thursday, Friday complex, depending on how it develops and where it goes, could put down the Euro saying 1 to 2 additional inches of rain. If this goes further south, obviously those amounts will be less. But I do think we get good rain out of that Thursday, Friday. And then that Tuesday system, you can see how there's some additional rain that gets added to that. And that all depends on thunderstorms, which it's impossible to predict how much rain a thunderstorm is going to bring to your house next week this far out. So there you go. Haley asked a good question. So no severe weather the rest of the week. That's okay if you missed the beginning. Haley, I'm not seeing a severe threat from this. We're going to see another complex of storms that rolls through late Thursday, Friday, but it looks like the real severe part of it's going to stay down to our south. So we would get just rain off of that, and we get some thunderstorms with it, but I don't see a big severe threat out of that. So I don't see anything, no. Rosa, you're right. Yeah, your understanding is correct. Yeah, it looks like very, very late in the day tomorrow. We'll see clouds increase off of whatever develops towards the west, and then eventually we'll track that in for sure. Yeah, Erica, boy, yeah, Beloit, Wisconsin, ton of rain last few days. Yeah, we go back to that. This is how much rain's fallen the last 48 hours. Look at Wisconsin. This is where that line of storms develop. Look at this. It comes straight out of South Dakota. This is where they had 90-mile-per-hour winds. They had a 90, I think it was a 98 or 99-mile-per-hour wind gust with that derecho yesterday. Everything started to fizzle as it moved in, which was great. But look at the heavy rain. Wisconsin, right here, you can see Minnesota, northern Iowa picked up anywhere from 5 to 6, even 8 inches of rain in spots. So, it's a very small area, geographically speaking, but boy, they got nailed for sure. Yeah, Mark, temps aren't going to be too bad. I didn't get into temps because they're not really that interesting, to be honest with you. But I can show you the temps here. Let's see. We'll go high temperatures. This is high temperatures over the next 10 days. And let me get myself off the screen so you can see that a little bit better. Here you go. All right. So here is tomorrow. We're talking mid to upper 80s, depending on how much sunshine we get. That'll be some fuel for that complex to come in. And then Saturday we turn cooler. Friday we turn cooler as that front moves through. So we're, upper 70s near 80. Weekend looks great, upper 70s. Sunday we're talking low 80s. And then we're back to a little bit of heat around that dome next Monday, but fairly typical for this time of year, mid to upper 80s, and then mid 80s on Tuesday. And then we're kind of fantasy land here back into the 80-degree territory on Wednesday, near 80 next Thursday. And then next weekend, near 80 again. Here's that heat. That heat's going to shift off towards the west. So we're going to be in good shape with that. In terms of big heat waves or anything like that, that heat dome looks like with another frontal boundary next week is going to get pushed out towards the west. So you're probably going to hear in national news a week from now how hot it is out west. I'm talking Seattle, Portland, Colorado. All those areas are really going to heat up as everything kind of gets pushed that way. And for us, we settle into near average. It's going to be pretty nice over the next 10 days or so, temperature wise, for sure. Rosa, you're welcome, for sure. Kyle, you did. Kyle messaged me on Facebook and said, what about this derecho? We didn't get it here though, Kyle. It did go south, as we were talking about. But yeah, that was it was certainly an event for much of the Midwest. Second one too in a couple weeks. Usually we only get one or two a summer across the Midwest. Just depends on the pattern for sure. Yeah. Mike, you're welcome, buddy, for sure. All right, everybody. I think that's it. We'll get you on your way. I know you got summer plans. You got to get back outside. Enjoy the mosquitoes. All right, after all the rain we had. But it's good to get some rain. So very thankful for that. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Just a couple operational things. We will not have Region Weather Live on Sunday or Wednesday next week. Regular posts can be expected, but I'm going out of town. We're going on a travel trip, and I will not have my setup of computers and cameras. So it just won't be possible. It won't look good with, a selfie cell phone thing. So we're not doing a Region Weather Live, but we will be doing posts as usual throughout all of next week. So you won't lose anything there. Okay. I don't completely take a week off. And then we may have some really exciting news coming our way in 2 weeks. Super excited, but not finalized yet. So we'll see. All right. Enjoy your Wednesday evening. Appreciate you guys joining us. And we'll talk to you, guess we'll talk to you in about 2 weeks face to face, unless we have some kind of severe weather, which I don't anticipate. Okay. All right.